Hello everybody, my name is Mario5514 and welcome back to another Splatoon Talk video. We're going to be going over some more what-if weapon kits for Splatoon 3. If you guys have watched the first video talking about these kits, you know what I'm getting at. And without further ado, let's get started. Also, keep in mind that these are only what-ifs. These are not official or by means anything that is real. These are only what-ifs of what they would have looked like or what we could have gotten in Splatoon 3. And without further ado, let's get going. First up is the Forged Splattershot Pro. Point Sensor and Trizooka would definitely complement this weapon a bit, even though Point Sensor wouldn't work as well, even though with the Forged Splattershot Pro's range, this would definitely be a weapon to attack from a distance, as well as use the Trizooka to give you more of a powerful edge. Even though the current weapon kit for the Forged Splattershot Pro is Suction Bomb and Booyah Bomb. But I think it would be very interesting to see this weapon get this weapon kit, as we do see it get a similar weapon kit in Splatoon 1, as I had Point Sensor and Inkzooka. So I think this would have been a throwback to 2015 if we got this weapon kit instead of the current weapon kit that we have. Next up is the Splattershot Nova. The current weapon kit is Point Sensor and Killer Whale 5.1, but I think Splat Bomb and Super Chump would definitely be interesting for this weapon, as the Splat Bomb would be it would give the Splattershot Nova a fighting chance with a powerful sub-weapon, which is better than Point Sensor, as well as Super Chump would provide more of a distraction for your opponents as you continue to paint the enemy's turf, as well as attack them from behind when they're distracted trying to get rid of the Super Chumps, or just be a pain in the butt for your opponents so your teammates can go after them easier. I would think the Splattershot Nova would look good with this weapon kit, but a lot of people don't like this weapon. I mean, I've used this weapon a bit. It's just I prefer the Anaki model more than the regular model, to be honest. Next up is the regular blaster. I think Toxic Mist and Killer Whale 5.1 would definitely be interesting for this weapon and how it would work. If we look back at Splatoon 1, it had Disruptor as it was called for the Toxic Mist, and we had Killer Whale with it. In Splatoon 2, it traded in the Killer Whale for Splashdown, but kept the Toxic Mist as it's now called. In Splatoon 2, and in Splatoon 3, we have Auto Bomb and Big Bubbler. But it would be very interesting to see a blaster weapon get Killer Whale 5.1, as the only weapon that I know of that would get Killer Whale 5.1 is the Rapid Blaster Deco. But I mean, it would be interesting to see a regular blaster get Killer Whale 5.1. You know, to be honest. Next up is the .96 Gal. This was a weapon kit that someone suggested that I show, as this weapon kit would have Ink Mines and Booyah Bomb, as its current weapon kit has Sprinkler and Ink Vac. I think it would be interesting to give this weapon Booyah Bomb, as it would give it more of an edge than Ink Vac would. And not only that, Booyah Bomb is way better than Ink Vac, considering the fact when you deploy the Ink Vac, you're basically out in the open for an enemy attack from behind or from the sides. Than if you were using a Big Bubbler, which would defend yourself all around you, as well as use the Trizooka to go at them from the front of you, as well as know when they're coming from behind as you hear them coming from you from behind. So Ink Mine would definitely mark their location of where they are so you can go on defense, and then Booyah Bomb could help you go on offense or cover a huge amount of the enemy's turf and be very aggressive with it. But I doubt that Nintendo would put the Booyah Bomb with the .96 Gal, because it would just make it overpowered, to be honest. But it would be interesting to see this weapon get Booyah Bomb, to be honest. It would look cool. Next up is the Clash Blaster Neo, or I always like to call it the Neo Clash Blaster. Its current weapon kit has Curling Bomb and Super Chump, but I think it would be interesting to give it Burst Bomb and Crab Tank like we see with the regular Splashmatic. Even though the Clash Blaster Neo has a very bad weapon kit compared to the regular Clash Blaster, as it has Splat Bomb and Trizooka. But I think Burst Bomb and Crab Tank would definitely fit the Neo variant, as it would give it a sub-weapon that it can combo off of, and then use the Crab Tank to attack from a distance, as the Clash Blaster has the worst range than any other weapon. because you have to get right up in someone's face for the Clash Blaster to actually do anything. As well as it's one of the worst weapons. I mean, I've managed to scavenge a few wins with the regular Clash Blaster because of the Splat Bomb Trizooka kit, but Clash Blaster would be a weapon I wouldn't use very often. But it would be interesting to see Neo Clash Blaster get Burst Bomb and Crab Tank. I wonder how that would look on in gameplay than on paper. Next up is the S-Blast 92. Its current weapon kit is kind of sad or depressing, as it has Sprinkler and Reef Slider. But I think Auto Bomb and Trizooka would work for this kit, as the Auto Bomb would sniff out where your opponents are hiding or where they are if they don't see you on the battlefield. So I think this would work for this weapon, as the S-Blast does have a bit of a tendency to it does not do very well under pressure. As what I'm trying to get at is, I mean, you can fire from a distance when you're on the ground, and when you're jumping in the air, you can fire close range shots. But I feel like this would look better, giving the S-Blast more of an edge on the battlefield than with Sprinkler and Reef Slider, in my opinion. Next up is the Tri-Stringer. This was a weapon kit that I created myself, as I think Ink Mine and Tentamissiles would definitely work for this weapon, as you can use Ink Mines to mark where your opponents are and go at them with these so you won't miss your shot if you can. And then you can use Tentamissiles to get a free recon or mark where your opponents are, and then fire them from the air so they'll scatter when the Tentamissiles land. So they'll either come forth to you or to your teammates, making it easier for you to advance and get a positioning on the battlefield. So I think this weapon kit would definitely work for a lot of support weapons, or as people would call them, backline weapons. I mean, if we look, the only Tri-Stringer weapon that has Tentamissiles is the regular Reflex 450. But I think giving regular Tri-Stringer Tentamissiles and Ink Mine would definitely look a little better than Toxic Mist and Killer Whale 5.1 with the current Tri-Slosher kit that we currently have. I mean, I think this would work better than its current kit, but I don't think people would want this kit as much, as well as people are going to say it's based, which is kind of the thing with other people, which is kind of the thing with Splatoon players or backline players that use these weapons. Next up is the Wellstring 5. This was another weapon kit that someone suggested that I make. Considering it has Ink Mine and Crab Tank, I did mention this weapon kit in my third weapon kit ideas video, as the refurbished mini Splatling would have Ink Mine and Crab Tank, but it would be interesting to see the Wellstring 5 have this weapon kit instead of the current weapon kit. I think it has Burst Bomb and Ultra Stamp, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm very sure that the Wellstring 5's special is the Ultra Stamp. It's just the custom model has Wavebreaker. But I mean, it would be very interesting to see Wellstring 5 get Crab Tank, even though it's one of the more powerful Tri-Stringers in the series, or in the Tri-Stringer class. So I would like to see how this weapon kit would work in battle, as it looks good on paper. And finally, we have the Splat Charger. With, instead of Ink Vex, someone suggested Crab Tank with Splat Bomb. This actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's a charger weapon, meaning that you're using a weapon that does not do very well in close quarter combat, and for people who don't like to get their hands dirty. I wouldn't use this weapon very often, or I wouldn't use it at all. This is a weapon that I would think would help the Splat Charger get an opportunity to go on offense than just go on defense or on support. I would like to see how a Charger would go from using a Ink Vac to a Crab Tank, but it would definitely give the Charger a bit of an advantage over their opponents. But I just don't think Crab Tank would work for a Charger, because they have to go back to where they were originally before they deployed their Crab Tank. Because with the Crab Tank, you're easily able to go on offense with it, but when it disappears, you're basically out in the open for an attack. So I could see it as a bit of a problem, unless you're... And the only way to get close to your opponents with the Crab Tank is that you have to go from where you were in your original position and then go to a place where your opponents are and just deploy it without any problems, even though a lot of people are going to try to destroy its armor, and then it would make it disappear faster because it's taken a lot of damage. Which is what I've seen when I played with the Splashmatic and the Splattershot Pro. And that is it. That is all of the weapon kits. If you guys like the video, be sure you subscribe and don't forget to leave a like on the video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, just send a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And until then, stay fresh.